Newstrack, I want to bring you a special investigation done by the India Today SIT, which looks at how people are back breaking the law, acting like complete Covidiots, doing parties, pool parties, and all kinds of things which are forbidden even at this moment. It's almost as if the second wave of COVID didn't happen, that we didn't all suffer, that people didn't die, because people have just now got the urge to go out and be out and about, and they couldn't care less about what this means for India, for Indians, and for the third wave, which could soon be upon us.
Bunched together, reveling in close quarters, taking the jars down, puffing and vaping in tight space. A shocking return of the rave in the national capital and its suburbs. This barely a month after India was battered by the pandemic's catastrophic second wave. Our investigation found how several pubs, restaurants and farmhouses in Delhi and its neighborhoods have turned into a breeding ground for a potential resurgence of the virus. A brazen violation of restrictions, an open invitation to another wave to strike back again. Behind the closed shutters of this bar and lounge in East Delhi, our investigative reporters discover cavalier guests partying no holds barred. Hooked to hookahs to socialize. One pipe shared by several. Drinking in proximity. Loud singing. All this when none of these pub activities are allowed in Delhi. The bar operators have no qualms. Pay them and get the party going.
अल्कोहल डीजे और हुक्का
A lounge in Gurugram brewing the same hazardous recipe on its premises. Bustling with patrons, their guards down as they drink and dance. No facial protection, no safe distancing. This when the Haryana government has allowed only 50% filling in bars, clubs and restaurants. That too with strict adherence to COVID-appropriate protocols. The club manager is also at ease with hosting late-night parties beyond the permissible 10 p.m. deadline in the state.
पार्टी का टाइमिंग क्या रहेगा? तो देखिए क्लियर होता है। क्लियर में तो आपका कितने बजे स्टार्ट होता है? आफ्टर दैट आपका मेन को स्टार्ट होता है। 7:30 बजे के लिए पार्टी शुरू होगी। हां 7:30 आपका स्टार्ट होता है वाला। 7:30 आपकी शुरुआत है। 7:30 to 10:30 आपका लेके जाएगा। उसके बाद निकल जाएगा आपका। तो वो मेन को एक घंटा आपका लगता है। कितने बजे जाएगा ना कितने बजे फाइनल होगा? 12 बज जाएगा। हां हम कहते हैं कि इतना दिन तो ये पार्टी करेंगे ना। तो मास्क पहनो रहता है। पूरा मास्क नहीं है वो तो ऐसे होगा। मतलब हैवी भाई तो बाकी बात होगी पहला मैं
Forgetting COVID-19 very much exists. A perfect setting for the deadly disease to prey on with vengeance once again. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah, Jamshed Khan and Nitin Jain for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
So pubs and dance bars officially aren't open, hookah parties are most certainly not allowed, and you can't have large gatherings. But it doesn't seem to matter because people think the party's on, COVID's gone, and we can do what we want. Now, this is very dangerous. In fact, today the Delhi High Court came down hard on the state government, asking why are people being allowed into the markets in the way that they are? Why are greater curbs not being put? Remember, the virus is still out there. And it's not as if we drop our masks and let our guards down, that the virus will just vanish and go away. It's lurking, it's waiting to strike, and it will be back in the form of a third wave.
A city devastated by the second COVID wave. And this is what it looks like now. Crowded markets and malls, zero distance and mask protocol. Memories of the horrors have all evaporated. And the Covidiots of the capital appear to be issuing an open invitation to that dreaded third wave. As we have seen so often recently, the courts have had to step in. The Delhi High Court on Friday took unilateral cognizance of these disturbing images and has issued notices to the centre and Delhi governments asking them to explain why this is being allowed.
In a lot of places, people are forgetting the COVID protocols, because of which Delhi High Court judges have come down heavily, and they have said measures need to be put in place which need to be followed. Otherwise, we could see a definite third wave.
The High Court asked the centre and Delhi government to take strict measures, sensitize shopkeepers and hold meetings with markets and vendors associations in this regard. Television screens and social media have been flooded in the recent weeks with images of rampant crowding in markets across the national capital. From Delhi's Sadar Bazaar to Sarojini Nagar Market to the upscale Khan Market, Delhi citizens have exploded out onto the streets.
While crowds surge, shopkeepers say they are following all protocols.
Moreover, the people who come here, they are more educated, I would say, and more cautious about, COVID-appropriate behavior. So in Khan Market, such problem is not being seen.
In first wave, I used to avoid sometimes. Sometimes I pull it down and all. But I think so now it's got a habit now. If I don't wear the mask, I feel something is missing in me. But this become now a part and parcel of our lifestyle only.
The irony of these images is that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said as many as 5,000 youth are being trained to work as assistants to doctors and nurses to mitigate possible shortages of medical staff during the third COVID-19 wave.
सरकार ने एक बहुत बड़ा एम्बिशियस प्लान बनाया है। 5,000 हेल्थ असिस्टेंट्स तैयार करने का। इनको टेक्निकल भाषा में कम्युनिटी नर्सिंग असिस्टेंट्स कहते हैं।
The decision comes after the Delhi government has already set up 2 committees to manage the third wave and mitigate its impact. But the unstoppable crowds in the capital won't stop tempting fate. Forgetting protocols is bad enough, but how could they forget the misery, the agony, the suffering that ravaged Delhi just weeks ago? With Aishwarya Paliwal in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.